Yeah, so what I have to talk to you today is very important. Is about the food that we eat, the meat, fish, dairy, animal products in general. If you are a light being, if you are working with good energies, if you are doing your path, your mission in this planet with a different philosophy of living, um, if you are eating animal products, you are eating the energy of the animal. What I mean with that is when you eat meat, a cow, whatever, a pig, you don't know how they were they were living. You don't know the process, if it was traumatic, by the way they were coming into this world, separate from mothers, how they did the living until the day they died. And when they die, how they were killed. And all this energy, you are eating this. Each time you are eating, even eggs, you are not supposed to steal the eggs from the chickens. You are not supposed to steal the milk. You are not supposed to steal the honey from the bees. They are beings. They are alive in this planet. They have their function. They have already their mission, and their mission is probably harder than our mission. There's a lot of insects here, but the ground, it's so fluffy, it's so good. It's really beautiful. And how they die, the fish die without air. So all this seconds or minutes that he is just struggling without breathing, an energy that it's in the fish, and you are going to eat this. So when you eat this, you are having this energy with you. So if you are feeling very anxious, very angry, very all this terrible feelings like everything is wrong, with hate for people, with hate for situations, with if you are all the time holding negative energy with you, means that it's one of the causes, and probably is the main cause, or probably is the only cause, is because you have these energies inside you. When I was very young, I had a lot of difficulty to process food, especially meat, meat, and eggs, milk, because my parents are Portuguese, and the Portuguese culture are very dairy, and it's one time fish, one time meat a day, and eggs at breakfast, and milk and cheese during the day. And it's terrible. And I had a lot of nightmares. I was very anxious. I was terrible. I was hating everything for a long period. This was a very long period in my life that I had all these feelings. And when my grandmother just took my hand, and the other one I hold the chicken, and this one I just cut her neck, and then she took my hand, and the body just started to run away without head. I was in tears, screaming so loudly. It was terrible. And it was she was not eating meat all the time. My grandparents, they had animals, but they lived all their lives like that. So my grandparents decided that the pig was really old, 13, something like that. He was really old, and they decided he was really big, really big. And I was used to see him every summer, every time I went there during holidays. And I saw him growing, and it was kind of a friend, like a pot, because he was little, I was young. I was 8 years old when she killed the pig. It was terrifying. The scream, The pig was screaming so loud. I have this in memory. Well, I have a very special memory because I can remember all my life here, my past life here in this planet, my past lives before that one. Not the past lives in a body, because I was only up there, helping from up there, but I came in a light being to help human bodies. So I'm saying the lives that I was into, I can remember mostly the everything from Venus and Mercury. And I can tell you one thing, that the moon that we have now, it was the previous sun. I saw my whole future and in detail when I was between 7 and 11, until my search is 33 years old, and I saw all the rest in big. I cannot have the details anymore. It was only until 33 years old for you that are in this enlightened path to know that everything is possible. And if you know things and if you remember things, they are value, they exist. Don't think that you are imagining or that you are going crazy. About the animals, about the food, about this, I was kind of all my life until 12 years old, I was with a chewing gum every day in my mouth just to help the digestive process. And I always did a lot of exercise because I knew that this was one of the ways as well that helped the process. When I was 12, 13 years old, I had my menstruation, my first time menstruation. And then I was doing less sport activities, and it was terrible. My body started to feel different. I was in pain all the time, like struggling. I could not sleep. It was nightmares after nightmares, the whole night and every night, and it was terrible. And then suddenly, and I knew already at that time, when I was about like 13 and 14 years old, there was vegetarian people in the world, and I was like, wow, this exists, so I can do that as well. I'm not obliged to eat meat and fish, because the Portuguese culture is you have the energy from animals. If you don't eat, you don't have energy. This is the concept. So yeah, but the wrong energy, the bad energy, the negative energy, this is what you get. It's not the right energy, like they thought that it was. Because before it was to give you strength to work. When I was 15 years old, I suddenly said, it's enough. I cannot handle this anymore, and I'm going to stop to eat meat. And when I told my mom, I said, I'm going to stop to eat meat. And she was like, what are you going to eat then? And she was really, she had her eyes really open, like she was in panic completely. She was like, if you don't eat that, you are going to die, because you cannot live without those things. I say, I'm going to eat all the rest. And for her, she could not understand. She was saying, what do you mean with all the rest? And I was saying, all the rest. Portuguese food is very complete. In a way, I don't know why they put meat and fish and eggs in there, because we have so many different beans and fruit and vegetables. It's so rich, because the climate in Portugal, almost everywhere, it's so rich. The taste, it's supremas, and the food in Portugal really tastes. Oh my God, Portugal is so gifted. It's in all senses. Is the climate, is the weather, is the place, the nature, is the beach, is the sun, and the food itself. It tastes so perfect. And why are they eating meat and fish? Just because it was a fashion thing. and yeah, became a fashion because like my grandparents and the old times, you eat meat during the king's birthday, means the king make birthday only once a year. When I heard this expression, I was like, wait a minute, the king has his birthday only once a year, so means that they were eating um, they were eating meat once a year. So for what reason do they start to eat meat every day, and fish as well? It's meat and fish and eggs and milk, and goodness, because this was the new rich time in Portugal. If you were able to eat fish, meat every day and eggs, you had money. And you know, the pastry, Portuguese pastry, oh, it's amazing, it's enormous. There's pastry, religious pastry, there's pastry everywhere, and all is made with eggs. Especially it's eggs and eggs and eggs and eggs and milk, and it's terrible. It's like here in Switzerland, when I arrive, it's like cheese and cheese, the traditional dish here in Switzerland. Two, the most famous, and yeah, the other one with mushrooms, they put as well some cheese and milk, cheese and milk, cheese and milk, cheese and milk, cheese and milk. It's kind of crazy. They don't think, they just act like their parents, their culture, in the school, the social environment just tells them to do, and they just follow it. And when I was 15 years old, I was already like a small adult, and I was like, I know how to take care of myself, and especially my health. I was feeling very bad. And why? I was feeling the energy each time I arrived to there, because in between 12 and the 14, 15 years old, I was always, every time after eating meat, I was really feeling very anxious and very irritated and angry with everything, and angry with life, and especially with my body. I was feeling that I was possessing something inside me that didn't belong to me and to my body. And yeah, this was the energy of the animal that was inside me, and it was not okay, because even though when I was in that time, meat, and especially meat in Portugal, was still okay. It was still very good, because the animals were living in kind of a big fields and eating just grass, you know. It was still not too bad, not like today. It's terrible. It's the kind of industry that we know, and all this that we are going through, it's because we are doing wrong. So if you want to feel better in your mind, if you want to feel better in your soul, if you want to feel free, to feel brighter, and with a space in here wide open, just to receive the divine, and to be yourself, and really to engage in this enlightened world. Was two of the same insects, and they were like having not a fight, but just they were communicated. They were like, oh, you are here too. Anyway, I love insects. Insects are my favorite animals. I really love them, really. I feel that insects are, especially the ones that have wings, they are more connected with the highest realms, with unlighted beings. And some of the unlighted beings, sometimes they go into this insects just to tell you something. So when they are around you, sometimes they are trying to tell you something, or remind you something, or about things that you are thinking or saying, that you probably need to reflect about it again, or there's somehow an enlightened message that it's trying to descend into you. They are my favorite animals, and they already have such a difficult and short life. For the subject that I'm having right now, very beautiful that was a mix of, I don't know, he was looking like he was made of leaves, and you know, this, it was a special insect. It was almost looking not real. It was so funny. It was like he was made of things that are on the ground, you know? So funny. Anyway, am I recording? Yes. And then I decided to stop to eat meat, and first to see if that was the problem. Why was I having so much nightmares, and I was feeling so angry and so anxious, and you know, everything was wrong. Sometimes was almost instantly. It was right after eating. And when I stopped, then I was kind of 2 days after, I was feeling light. My brain was like empty, was so light, and I was feeling like I was an angel. I could fly. I was so light then. I was feeling so well, and suddenly I started to feel so happy, and I was like, that's it. There's no doubt at all, you know. Yeah, and this is why I quit to eat meat when I arrived here 8 years ago. It was very, very terrible because I could not find places to buy vegan food, all the kind of supplements, going crazy. I was like, what the heck? I was so well in Lisbon, you know, because in Lisbon, all these kind of supplements, you can find them since I decided to quit meat more than 30 years ago. It's called celeiro, where you stock your food for the winter time. And it's a big shop. They have everything. It was so easy until I came here to Switzerland to eat and continue this way of no dairy processed food. So yeah, so if you want a clean body, it's not by doing exercise that you are going to put all this away from your body. No, it doesn't work like that. And the worst is not the fat, it's the energy that you keep on in you. So you cannot do a light work if you eat dairy, if you eat animals. I'm so sorry to tell you that, but it's the case. You cannot, because even though you can have 1 or 2 days that you have some connection with the supremest entities and God, but it's true that in a long term of living, this doesn't help you very much if you have only 1 or 2 connections. If you want to have your mission accomplished, very enlightened and beautiful way of being and living, you need to quit meat, dairy, and all animal products. There's an extremist side as well of vegan. I have wool things that I keep like for more than 30 years. They were given to me when I came to Switzerland. It was really, really cold, and the only boots that were hot are made of animal thing. A couple of years ago, I decided I'm not going to buy any more animal products. Things that I still have are things that people gave to me. They last for more than 30 years because I don't use them much. I use them during winter, and the winter in Portugal was a month maximum, and so they endure until today. So until today I have some wool things. And what I want to say about extremism, I'm not going to put this in the bin because otherwise I'm considered non-vegan, because I'm still using animal products. Yeah, I'm still using animal products. I'm not buying any more animal products. I'm not wasting this animal's life. Use them and take care of them until until they are destroyed. And even though I give all the shoes all the time for other people in need, they can be used for people that are in landfill, or I don't know, very poor people, kids around the globe that need this, and they will use until they are really broken. I'm not going to throw that. It's kind of wasting animals' lives. There was already taken from them, from the animal. And if you take care of these things, you are just like giving a thanks to the animal, and the energy is, it's not going to harm you. It's not a negative energy. But if you continue doing that, like buying every day and almost every season animal products and bags and shoes and whatever it is, you are going to have these energies, because you are going to feed this way of production, this way of living, that it's killing animals for you to have things. And this energy is on the is everywhere. You can feel it, because you are contributing to this killing lives. It reminds me the summers in Portugal. I love the smell, this pine. The pine tree is just here, the big pine tree, beautiful. They are here, another one. They are different than the pine trees in Portugal. They're more looking like that one. This one, it's different. Just two different kinds. Pine, les pins et les sapins. That it's kind of, les sapins, it's the pines from the Alps. It's only from the cold places. It's the Siberian and the Alps. And the pine is the kind of that we have like in Portugal, south of Spain as well, and south of France and wherever, Italy. But I hope you understand when I talk to you about this energy that you eat, that you put inside you when you eat animals and dairy. When you put this energy, you put these animals inside your body, and the energy of the animal, it's inside of you, and it goes into your brain, into your mental health. I really love this pine tree a lot. Kiss. So I like this a lot. And it's connected with other trees. So I'm going down now. Yeah, up. I love that thing. It's like a nest. Yeah. Les avants. And Glion. Yeah. Okay. It's beautiful. I was just there in the mountains, in the forest over there today, in the morning. Very happy that I found this path here. All the way down this or this way. Yeah. Really happy to find this. You see, I was a little bit upset, but it's beautiful. It's true that when negative energies are around, if you are persistent, if you are a being of light, you know you can dissolve these energies, or you can transmute, and this is what it is. I found a beautiful path and a beautiful place to sit on to talk to you. While I was just annoyed by the noise, I didn't find another beautiful spot up there, because I had to come in this spot. I was called to come in this spot. I was called to talk to you and deliver the message that I told in this video. Yes, as the birds are talking now. She's so green, this one here. It's green all over. Wow. She must be old. She must be old. It looks like tilia or freixo. I don't know the words in English. Betula. I know that they sound quite similar. It's so nice to view like this. It's so difficult in our days to find a spot. You know, there's the sound of the cows, even though they are not inside the forest, but because of the sound, it's like an echo, a little bit on the top, as you can see, because there's the top of the trees in here. You see? So I'm here on the top of the top. I'm just collecting more leaves. If you do a shamanic work, for example, if you want to do a dream catcher, for example, with nature, your own, with your energies and the energies of the unlighted world and the unlighted beings and the nature itself, the higher realms, the first step is to collect the things. It's like a cave in here. You have a kind of little hills, little mountains, so you stay in between. This is very good to do. You see, but you can never cut one. You see, like steps here. You see. They really look like steps. They're so fine and I loved it. I always dreamed to find this place here. It was not my imagination. I always dreamed to find this kind forest place where there's like wooden stairs made by the roots of the trees, and that's it. That's the path that I discovered today. I'm very happy, and I was feeling this call 3 months ago. Wow, a ginormous tree that was here. Oh, beloved thing. Oh my God. And look at this, it's like a mushroom. It's so green and so beautiful, all these trees. You can see that it's very humid, it's very cold during winter time. And sometimes some trees live longer. I know that I'm going to be in different places of the planet and to give even more positive and bright energy to these places where I'm supposed to be. Special when the energies are about to change, like with the eclipse now, with the full moon, with the eclipse, and with the summer and all the collective energy that is rising, and everything is so strong that some people are just not holding the good energy, so they are letting the negative energy take place in their minds and in their bodies, and so it's why they suddenly act like crazy. But after they are like, why did I react like that? Okay, I just stepped into my private forest. If you saw my previous videos, you know this part of the forest already, because I recorded twice or more. And the smell is so good. So I will probably, I don't know when this camera will turn off. The water looks so fresh, cold water. Yeah, I was just saying, yes, on the throat, on your belly. They will fulfill the other chakras. So here you can hear the sound of nature, only birds and water.